Hey, you want to know something I like? Sociological sci-fi epics. Grandly ambitious stories which deal in timeless questions about human civilization. I find the politics to be the best part of the Star Wars prequels, because I'm a madman, and Fritz Lang's Metropolis is one of my favorite movies. So obviously I was pretty excited for Megalopolis. It sickened me. And I'm not here to crap all over the film. Unlike most movies today, it takes chances, and I'm genuinely glad it exists. Stylistically, Megalopolis is striking. Adam Driver kills it as a brooding yet playful torture genius type. Additionally, Jon Voight shooting Shia LaBeouf in the ass with his bow and arrow boner was something I didn't know I needed in my life. Finally, there's a character named Wow Platinum. Like, someone literally sat down at a typewriter and wrote that. I approve. But once you scratch away the dazzling weirdness on Megalopolis' surface, what you're left with is a pretty shallow experience. However, I still think some good can come out of it. If we take a moment to run through the movie's flaws, we may be able to learn how epic political sci-fi can avoid pitfalls like this in the future, and also gain a clearer picture of just what makes this genre so special to begin with. The first and perhaps most critical flaw in this movie is its utter lack of focus. We waste so much runtime jumping from irrelevant subplot to irrelevant subplot. You'd think that Coppola could have taken a few bucks out of his $100 million budget and bought an editing chainsaw. I like Dustin Hoffman as much as the next guy, but what is his character's presence accomplishing? Slash him. What is the point of Adam Driver's dead wife? Cut her out. Why are 20 minutes of the movie dedicated to framing the protagonist for statutory rape, after which the subplot is dropped like a depleted uranium paperweight? It all just makes the movie feel so cluttered, which wouldn't be a problem if its central ideas weren't gargantuan, meaty themes like the nature of art and society and the human condition, which needed as much breathing room as possible to be properly explored. That brings us to the point that while Caesar is adamant that humanity needs to have a conversation about its future, the movie never bothers to actually show that conversation. There is no debate, not really. It's Caesar's way or the highway. All discussion happens on his terms, and if somebody disagrees with him, they're just an unambitious doomer who's living in the past, man. But what specifically is Caesar's vision of the future offering? What can his miracle building material, Megalon, do for me? Well, the whole city gets those moving walkway things they have at airports, which is literally a proposal Jerry Seinfeld had for urban planning. That's cool, I guess. What else? You see where I'm going with this. Next, there's the issue that the film's humanistic message is pretty thoroughly undermined by the fact that humanism kinda requires humans. In Megalopolis, the capital P public is reduced to just this giant, faceless herd. And granted, that's sort of what they were in Metropolis, but at least one or two of Lang's proletarian mass actually had personalities. At least Freder was fighting for them as human beings rather than as living metaphors for himself being right. The only poor person Caesar interacts with the whole picture shoots him in the face. The girl from beyond the trailer also made the really insightful point that in Megalopolis, the people are always on the outside looking in, as the elites wrangle with each other over the future of their world. That even when Caesar, the ostensible good guy, is giving his final speech, the public is literally separated from him by a chain-link fence. Now, if the film had explored this angle, the distance between the ruler and the ruled, or the artist and his viewer, I think it really could have added something. But I'm genuinely not sure if Coppola has the self-awareness to do that at this point. This film often just comes across as the condescending ravings of a bitter old artiste who hasn't directed a real movie in 30 years, but thinks that just because he made The Godfather, people should have to listen to his profundities even when they're just vacuous, blindly idealistic trite. Finally, there's the issue that the movie ends way too early. No, I don't think it should be longer. The runtime as it is insufferable. It just ended like so many revolution-focused movies do when the revolutionaries win. Then it skips out of town before they make a mess of the place. Like, take V for Vendetta, for instance. The boldest thing that movie could have done would have been to leave the camera rolling so that we could see 10,000 morons in Guy Fawkes masks try to draft a constitution. In the same way, I'd have loved to see Megalopolis tackle the realities of a city run by artists. What are the challenges of that? What are the opportunities? But obviously, Coppola isn't interested in those questions. For him, having the dream is enough. It isn't. Building a better world requires more than a sense of childlike wonder. It takes hard work, and my saying that doesn't make me a cynic. It makes me a person who doesn't have their head up their ass. So, to recap, the keys to a thoughtful epic sociological sci-fi movie are focus, specificity, a commitment to seeing society through both a bird's eye and bug's eye view, following your ideas to their logical conclusions, and not having your head up your ass.